Hello and thank you for joining us on the Thursday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. Today on the program, gunmen kills 3 policemen attached to former CBN Governor Charles Soludo. Abduct Anambra Commissioner as Governor Makinde Alafin and Olubadan say security challenges can't be fixed without state police. Shortage of COVID-19 vaccines sparks fears of counterfeiting and hoarding. And later on the show, motorists seek military intervention to tackle worsened Apapa gridlock. I'll be hanging out with Adekunle Yusuf and Asuko James. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for joining us. Insecurity in Nigeria took another twist on Wednesday when gunmen attacked the former CBN governor, Professor Charles Soludo, in his hometown in Anambra State. Though he escaped unhurt, 3 policemen attached to him were killed, while a commissioner in the state was kidnapped. In the midst of this, Governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, the Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi, and the Olubadan of Ibadan, Oba Saliu Adetunji, warned that without state police, no progress will be made in the fight against insecurity. Let's talk about Anambra first, Adekunle Yusuf. This is 6 months to the election. The election is in November, but this is a precursor to what to expect, because I don't know the motive of those people to kill 3 policemen in another country. In other countries, by the time you kill 3 cops, you know that, man,
the whole country
everyone will come down.
The whole country.
I don't know. The life is so cheap in Nigeria.
Yes, life has been become.
I saw the corpses yesterday, and I was like, wow.
Life has become extremely worthless in our country. But when you look at Anambra, I think it has a character of violent politics. You need to think back, all the various elections, especially in the last 20-something years. You know that every election will be characterized by violence, within political parties and among political parties. But if you follow Soludo, his own case is just like, he's tried like 2 or 3 times now, wanting to be governor of that state. But now,
I think the stakes are higher now.
Not just high, the cloud. I mean, it's clearer for him now. God bless you, because it's like
the incumbent is even interested.
It's like he's the adopted candidate of the outgoing,
which
government.
A lot of weight.
So, and when you study Anambra politics, the ruling APGA in Anambra State. It's not just a political party like we talk about APC or PDP. It's a church. It's a church party. It's almost owned, literally, by Catholic, big men and women. So you see that most, positions in the party. So it's like our own thing. So anybody who gets the opportunity of flying the flag of that party, we already be dreaming that, maybe it's my turn. Maybe
is that party still strong in Anambra like that?
That's where I'm going.
Okay.
But this is not to say that APGA, when you emerge as APGA candidate and it's so sure for you become the next governor. In Anambra State today, PDP is very, very strong. And I'm using the word deliberately. I was there, this December, and what I saw, the APC is also gathering momentum. I didn't believe it. That is local government. I traversed that local government. I got a local government. So you see multitude of, people who are now, you see big men now coming out, even in APC, highly successful, people from that, part of the country. And that in their own, like every state, they have 3 senatorial districts.
Yes.
So this one has done it.
PDP is controlling the National Assembly.
Everybody now seems to have agreed that it is the turn of this, senatorial district.
Okay, South. Yes.
To produce.
Yes. Tobiano is from the north.
So, this man is from there. You have big men in APC that are from there. You have big men in PDP that are from there. So, believe me, it's going to be a tough election. And now we are seeing the signs. Because by the time APC begins, they have a candidate. By the time the PDP has a candidate and campaign started, I don't know what will happen.
If 3 of his police aides, orderlies, if they were murdered in cold blood like that, that means Soludo himself is not safe. He would have been taken out.
Exactly. Nobody knows the motive of those who actually carried out this attack. If you notice in the newspapers today, some were saying it's an assassination attempt. Some people are saying it's politically motivated.
Because I don't think those guys came for the policemen.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you notice in the past 3 months or so, Southeast has been in the news for such cases. Not such, when I mean such, I mean killing police officers, as in targeted at police officers. The only state in the Southeast that has not really, had the incident of policemen being killed has been Enugu State. But every other Southeastern state.
Is it many connected with this?
The thing is, if you look at it,
Southeastern Security Network.
The thing is like most of these attacks can be looked at in different ways. One, some people are saying that the gunmen are using the issue about IPOB, as in being IPOB members, and then using it to kidnap important people for them to make money. Then there's also another one that they are saying that they are also members of the Eastern Security Network, they are members. Definitely in every organization there will be bad eggs. So some of those members are the ones carrying out these attacks, coordinated, whether isolated or coordinated. Nobody knows. Don't forget, Ayo, that recently the police actually arrested 16 suspects. Remember, we were together here, I think on Monday or Sunday or thereabout, where we are talking about one biggie, that was arrested by the police that I wanted to call Frank Mba, So it's just, nobody really knows how this thing is happening. But we know that it is the police that they are targeting. It has happened in Anambra, in Imo, and from the little investigation that I have carried out, most of these guys are in Olu, in Imo State. They carry out these attacks, they carry out this kidnapping, and they move their victims to Olu. When once you pay this ransom, they take you back to a particular place, the boundary between Imo and Anambra. So it has been happening, and I know that the police, they are also working out how they can arrest the situation, because the thing is also moving into other areas. Look at what happened in Akwa Ibom recently, that a policeman was killed, and the Alox van of even the soldiers, the army, was burnt. And the local government that we are talking about is very close to Abia State. Esinodem is very close to Abia State. So the police will have to, either they will send the intelligence TAC team to go there to see how and why this thing is happening around a particular region, and it's not moving into other regions, because the government of Akwa Ibom actually decided to ban motorcycle, tricycle in that particular local government so that they will be able to address that situation. But we have not seen that happening in the southeastern states. Don't forget that the governors they were also thinking of setting up something similar to Amotekun to know if it is indeed the elders that are causing this, or they have internal gangs, cultists who are actually carrying out these attacks. But as it stands today, in the case of Soludo, we've not really heard and known whether it was actually targeted at him. Because just like Adikule has said, he's the only one that the cards are falling for, because he has been in the contest for a very long time and he has not grown old. So you won't say he's old. He still has it. He can stand his ground.
For William,
so he stepped down. Yeah, so it means that if the baton
supported him, he ran his campaign.
Yes, of course. If the baton wants to move at all, he can still go he can swing to his hands. So we cannot say that specifically it was targeted at him. I want to still leave my cards open until when the police will carry out their investigation, they will come out and say, okay, we have arrested, although one suspect has been arrested, but we don't know until when the police will now carry out a proper investigation to know who and why they actually wanted to, kill Soludo. And
looking at the politics, the dynamics, as at 4 years ago, Tony Nwoye ran against Obiano, and the PDP now is now a serious factor because of Peter Obi factor. If you remember, when they had the presidential and the National Assembly election, it was swept by the PDP. Ironically, 2 weeks after, when they had to do their State House of Assembly election, it was swept by APGA. It shows you that it's very, very unpredictable between APGA. People still remember that legacy of Ojukwu when they think about APGA. But how strong is APGA today? Because I don't know, maybe the likes of Victor Ume and co, they are still committed to that party.
Well, I want to believe APGA is still strong in Anambra State. I won't lie to you with what I saw. Yeah. But there's a problem for that party. It has been a disastrous second term, experience.
For Obiano?
Yes. So you will carry that anybody that gets that ticket. So that's the major problem. Anybody that inherits the card, the flag of APGA. So
from what you saw on ground, you don't think it
I have great, solid, successful Anambra, sons and daughters as friends. And I told you I was there this December, and I know what people are saying. With it's not just poor, it's a disastrous second term. In terms of giving dividends of democracy, people are really, really complaining bitterly, openly. So now, anybody that gets that ticket, believe me, we carry that cross, because whether he likes it or not. For PDP remains very, very strong on the ground in Anambra State. Anybody that says something else.
Do you still have the Peter Obi factor?
It's Peter Obi, but don't forget that place, the PDP has always remained strong in the place.
And the senator representing
it is the new,
Uche
Ekwunife is
waxing stronger.
It's not a woman, it's a man. It's a man that made it. She's a grassroots, person. She's all over the place. So, and people like that will want, their party to be, in Oka, where is the state capital? So, we are saying the only one that is the new baby that has grown strong or is growing strong is the APC. In Anambra today, you won't believe the followership APC is enjoying that place. I was shocked.
Because if you look at
and you see big men,
a billionaire from
this Wintec.
Otto Eze is an APC chieftain.
You see captains of industry, big men. When I attended a stakeholders meeting when I went there, and you see the caliber of people. I'm talking about APC, stakeholders meeting. You see the caliber of people who have already shown interest in the governorship ticket of the APC, and I was surprised. So it's between APC, PDP, and APGA. The only problem APGA, it would have been difficult for any other party if this governor has done very well in his second term. He did very well in the first term, but second term, people are complaining too much.
Godwin is calling us from Yola in Adamawa State.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us, Godwin.
Thank you. I don't know. I have something to say about the general state of insecurity in our country. But the most painful one is the fact that right now the conversation is around Soludo, APGA. We want to talk about the 3 policemen that were killed. For me, let me be honest with you, it's so sad the rate at which our compatriots lose their lives in the line of duty, and we just fix it among the numbers and move on. Yesterday I was traveling from Yola to Mubi, where I work. And on the road I saw the checkpoint. Policemen were busy collecting money. a soldier in front stopped to ask them, why they were collecting money from passengers? Because it's for almost a year, they have not gotten interest to fuel the vehicle. I'm simply saying the insecurity we're talking about is tied to a lot of negligence. Look at how policemen die like flies, and we simply just count them among the numbers. The same thing with the soldiers. Until we start valuing all lives, honestly, we will remain in the mess we are in. So I'm so sad the conversation is moving away from those lives lost, the continual loss of lives of servicemen and other ordinary Nigerians. Then we're talking about the big shots in 2023. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution. Now, the second phase of it is, Asukwa, that Governor Makinde and Alafin of Oyo and Olubadan say security challenges can be fixed, that the security challenges that we are faced with in this country now cannot be fixed except we opt for state policing.
Well, the thing is, if you look at the proponent of those who are advocating for the idea about state policing, we can look at it in two ways. There are so many people who believe that how Nigeria is structured, if we start state police, that the governors would misuse the opportunity and turn...
I thought we've gone past that argument. Today, Ogun State launched their own Amotekun version.
There's somewhere I'm going to. Because just like Godwin just said...
It's like there's no going back on the idea of trying to have a kind of alternative to what we have on ground now.
Yes. But I can bet you that if we start today to say, okay, fine, let's constitute a police called state policing, there'll still be issues around that the governor is still manipulating the whole system and the whole state policing system. So the best thing is, it is the IG that would have to draw up a framework. I know there was a time he was even planning on that.
No.
Drawing up a framework.
This state police thing, it has to do with altering the constitution.
Yes.
And
in altering
removing the exclusive power of the federal government to
yes, to the state governors. If you do that, and that is the problem.
Or sharing the power.
They should be
and concurrent list.
Exactly. If it is there in the concurrent list, whereby the federal government will have a say, the state will have a say, even the local government should be able to have a say, because they are the ones that are going to produce the intelligence officers that will be in the state police. Because Nigerians cannot stay again to watch themselves being undered by a draconian governor. For instance, let me use a governor that will wake up in the morning and say, go and deal, I want that land, go and deal with that person, or go and deal with that family. Do you know it will be very difficult for anybody to do anything at that particular time?
Are we looking at the demerits?
If you
look at the demerits...
the thing is, the National Assembly will have to sit down to draw up a law whereby they will not make the state governors too powerful once they want to do this state police.
I remember our last discussion. You were talking about University of Wisconsin that you attended.
Yes.
And I remember that even the town close to it, St. Paul's, before you get to Minnesota.
Okay.
From Wisconsin, you have St. Paul's, from St. Paul's to Minnesota. But the bottom line is that as you are leaving each of these provinces, as you are leaving one by one, you see that they have different policing arrangements. And if you're on the highway, they might have to stop you, and you see them with different uniforms.
Yes, those are federal highway.
That the one we saw in Wisconsin is quite different from the one we saw here. And for their federal arrangement, they now have FBI. So now, are we going to say because of it might be subject to abuse that this idea should not, see the light of the day?
Okay, I will say this, because planes can crash. Are you going to say you will not fly? Everything is subject to abuse, even the federal police. So let us, first of all, disabuse our minds. And I feel sorry when people say, oh, these governors, don't let over-empower them. Come on. if you really want development, it is the state government that you empower.
If you can vote for him and hand over the treasury of the state.
Without empowering the state government, there can never be any development. Now, when we want to talk about security, you won't have security. This system that we're having, thanks to the governors, they're the ones funding many of these. If not, what is Nigerian police? There is nothing. Or majority of what you have as tools, equipment,
just imagine Lagos State Police.
Remove Lagos State government from Lagos Police Command and tell me whether there's anything called Nigerian Police Lagos. There won't be anything. It's the same thing in virtually all the states. Zero. So it's the state governors that bear the brunt of funding this animation. Now, if you say you say it's a federal government of Nigeria, what that means you want to do federalism. Well, then why are you afraid to do the real thing? The real thing is you must do devolution of powers. I don't envy the Nigerian governors because I want, why would the constitution make me the chief security officer of my state? And the state constitution fails to empower me with what I need to be in charge of security. Let me tell you, when you have state police, this does not mean the federal government will no longer have police. When you say a governor can abuse it, the federal police is also there to counter it. And you can take care of these things very well. There was a day when I was in the US, I wanted to call my telephone subscriber, and instead of calling 911, I call instead of calling 611, I called 911 mistakenly. And the thing that happened to me, do you know? They just, hello Yusuf, you are at so junction by so. Is that correct? I said yes. They said, please, how do we help you?
What's your emergency?
And before I even tried to apologize to them that it is a mistake, that I didn't really want to call you.
Outside.
You will see two,
they were already outside.
Two coming from there. And before I dropped my phone, 5 already packed. Different police, federal, state, county, all these things. And different uniforms.
They have your data already.
Yes, of course.
And they are all listening to the same thing. They are connected the same number. If we want transparency in Nigeria, from the biggest office to the lowest office, everything will change. Why are we always afraid, of light, of transparency? You are saying governors will abuse it. The federal one, who says somebody is not abusing it, everything will even out. Let's start it. Without it, there won't be any security. Let me give you this. There is no way anybody in Abuja can police all the 774 local governments in Nigeria. It is impossible. Even if the person is a prophet, if it's made from anywhere, it's not possible. So if you have a state police, Azuko, if you are a police officer now, and we say you are from Akwa Ibom, do you know that you may serve in your local government? And when you serve in your local government, there is the tendency that you will have emotional and psychological attachment to where you are from. You won't want anything to happen. You take it like your own baby. So if anything is happening, you have the tendency to, sniff crime before they happen, to, do whatever that is necessary. So that is why others, are doing federalism. And when they are doing federalism, they are getting the gains of federalism. But we are a federation practicing unity system. That cannot work for us.
We'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's still Journalist Hangout. Stay with us.
Vaccines are not available. The rich countries, the very rich countries will begin to, because what the rich countries are even doing now outside, they are even trying to see how everybody is vaccinated in their country. And they will hoard. Because, for instance, if I have a business and I want to sell these vaccines to you, I will sell at a good price to you rather than giving it to a poor country. Okay. So I have collected. Thank God you've gotten your first jab. We need more people to go out. We need more people to go out and get the first jab. But what we have seen so far is that even the first phase of people, the first phase, we've not gotten that number. And you can't tell me that the police officers, all the healthcare workers, journalists, teachers,
frontliners,
healthcare workers, all of them, you can't tell me that all of them, most of them have not collected. I can tell you, Ayo, most of these people that have, including soldiers, because there's nothing stopping the government from saying they want to go to maybe the barracks, for instance, and vaccinating all the soldiers, vaccinating everybody that is wearing uniforms, for instance, teachers, the journalists, because we are also giving that priority too. Because I used that opportunity to go, to the healthcare center around, to get vaccinated. So, but we want more people to, get these vaccines. I don't know about Adekunle if he has collected.
Adekunle is one of the skeptical ones. But,
maybe it's also
what I want to ask you. Okay. There are some European countries that they have to suspend this AstraZeneca. On my card yesterday, I saw AstraZeneca, I saw Pfizer
and
Johnson & Johnson. So they just ticked. And I said, okay, maybe Nigeria, we're still looking forward to bring the other ones and everything. But stories about the AstraZeneca vaccines causing blood clots and what have you, it has discouraged some people. So I was talking to somebody earlier today, and I told me that just let's see the outcome of your own first. Before I come.
It is natural as far as I'm concerned. When you look at the length of time it took to produce these vaccines, it is unprecedented in history. So that is enough to give some people opportunity to doubt, to raise. So in the normal sense, it can take more than 10 years.
10 years, yes, we know.
But the US and some other, they pushed with fund, with everything, and you see what is happening now. But the truth is, we shouldn't feel bad that, we have now covered over 1 million. It's not unique to us. Even big countries where they have vaccines, there's always what they call vaccine, or immunization assistance. So you have to work with them. You still have to work around that. Then in this
public enlightenment.
In this case, don't forget, many Nigerians still don't believe there's COVID. So you need to know all these things.
If you don't believe there's COVID, how will you take it?
So in any country where you don't have huge fatalities, huge infections, believe me, people will not rush to go and treatment. Like Australia, according to their news, news from there yesterday, they were short. They gave themselves a target of 4 million, dosage by March 31st. They were short by 3.6 something million. That is to say, there are
1 million people.
So over 85%, short. You understand my point? As at yesterday, that's Australia. Reason, they have low infections, low fatalities, just like us, a country of about 25 million or thereabouts. So what do? They just did some people are raised just as we raised. But the truth is that any country where you don't have, mass deaths, mass infections,
kind of
so
you
have to battle with vaccination assistance and all that. But it is the role of government to continue to encourage people to do it, to take it, that it is safe and it is even in the interest of everybody, not just you. So don't let us see it as why have you not done this? It's not a crisis. The
argument will never be like any vaccine is meant to prevent, to prevent you from contracting the diseases, like let's say malaria, fever, and everything. But that this one, it doesn't stop you from still contacting it. Exactly. The only thing you can't record, as in you can't break down, or it can lead to loss of life.
Death.
But it's not an automatic immunity against.
You see, that is one of the discussions I was having with a colleague yesterday. He was saying, okay, fine, if this thing is not going to prevent me from having the COVID, then why shouldn't I just go ahead and be, taking care of myself, making sure my immune system, boosting my immune system and staying alive, and making sure that I keep to the safety protocol, So I said, fine. But the thing is, there is this vaccine that can also help you not to die. You understand? So, because even with me having the vaccine, I can still, I still go ahead with the safety protocol. I wear my face mask where necessary. I wash my hands, you know, because those are some of the things that will not make me even get the contract.
Okay, I think I have Garuba from Benue State. Thank you for joining us, Garuba. Hello? I don't think we'll have him again.
You know, so the thing is, we just like the numbers, because I'm looking at, if we have not gotten, I know by this week we should be able to clock 1 million vaccinations, as in Nigeria. Mm-hmm. By then, we can now move, because they've given at the first phase, I think they extended by 2 weeks. So everybody, I even encourage everybody in TVC to always go there, just go and collect this vaccine. So
with your ID card,
you know, with your ID card you can get. So, and every other journalist who is interested, because they are not forcing people. That is the major thing. They are not forcing people to get this. But we just encourage people to see if we can bring down the numbers of infection, and then people should also know, because have you also noticed that people no longer wear their face mask? The only place I've seen people wearing face masks is my children's school, that everybody is wearing face mask. Because once I drop them, I see all the children, they are wearing face masks, the teachers, everybody.
And the rate of spread is minimal.
Yeah, it's minimal. But the thing is, we have to still prevent yourself from even contracting it in the first place. Because if we don't, it becomes a very big challenge.
And you remember, this matter is not helped by the counterfeiting aspect of, vaccine.
The vaccine, yeah. Yeah, that's another thing.
Long before vaccines were even made.
Have we recorded that in Nigeria?
But it's a possibility. Maybe we have not. The government,
But they said the fake ones are not in Nigeria.
They are not in Nigeria yet. The government is warning the people. Those who do it, they capitalize on the liberal atmosphere in many countries. That you can go online, pick stuff, buy whatever.
Because it's already online.
So that's why they say they advertise this, fake vaccines from websites, and they make you to get it. And you see Interpol has arrested many people in the last 1 week in South Africa, in China, and many other places. And in many of these countries, they seized at least like 3,000 doses at a point, 4,000 and all those things. So this means these are potential dangers, because if you patronize fake vaccines, 3 things may happen to you. Number 1, these vaccines may have been produced in unhygienic environment. 2, they may contain extremely dangerous materials. Materials that are extremely dangerous for human consumption. Then 3, they may not do what they are advertised to do.
Exactly. So and they are expensive too.
If you take it and you have the false notion that you have been vaccinated, you can see that you are not yourself's friend.
All right. Moving on now. Rather than abating the notorious gridlock along routes leading to Nigeria's premier seaport in Apapa is reoccurring. Motorists and commuters in the area are groaning over worsening gridlock on the ever-busy Apapa Expressway. They want the federal government to deploy the military to restore sanity in that axis. Azuko, this particular route has defied all solutions. I don't know. It's becoming a national embarrassment.
Yeah, the thing is, I know Governor Soludo actually brought an idea in collaboration with the Nigerian Port Authority, the e-call system, call-up system. And from the little investigation that I carried out in a couple of weeks, because I've been trying to get Ifunanya to always update me whether Apapa is free, whether every day when she goes out, she says, we don't come back. Is the road free? Because that is what everybody wants to know. She will say, well, today is not free, next tomorrow is free. So what is the problem? Now, the problem now, the maritime workers are saying that there are some saboteurs around that port area.
Look at these bridges now.
You know,
they are not meant for dead.
You understand? You know, there's something that happened this morning. You know, where a container fell on a car this morning. Yeah. But let's leave that. For the call-up system, there's the security operatives that they've deployed there. Some of them have been working with touts to see how they can circumvent the call-up system. Two, the shipping companies are also part of the problem. They are not using the call-up system for them to be able to get into the terminals for them to do their business. And three, it is the Nigerian Port Authority too. From the little investigation I carried out, the Nigerian Port Authority brought out this call-up system, but they've not been able to enforce, as in when I mean enforcing those rules and regulation, whereby when once your name or your tag is not in the call-up system, you are not supposed to even go near the terminal at all. So they are supposed to enforce that, so that those who are already in the call-up system should be the ones to call. Not that some people will pass through the bridge and then before you know it, they are already at the Lily Pond terminal. And that is the problem. So all the people that are involved, the maritime workers are not happy. The people who want to truly let this thing work are not happy, because they just feel that some animals are not equal. Some people are giving priority and some people are not giving priority. So if we want things to be done and done properly, I think the governor, just like they are saying, maybe military, they are saying sometimes I don't subscribe to always bringing soldiers to the streets. It doesn't make sense. Why can't we just allow things to work in Nigeria for once? Because the governor felt, and I'm very sure the governor wanted this thing to work. And I know that the first day, the second day, the governor did announce that Apapa was free. So all of a sudden, what happened? They said the system broke down. So APGA has a lot of questions to answer.
What do you have, like what we are talking about, the things, 68 items being on our exclusive list and everything? Why is it that this is the only ports, exports, imports, and we depend on import products, petroleum everywhere? Why is it that other ports are not functioning optimally as the Lagos ports, so that people in the southeast can go to maybe One, people in the north?
They even have Onitsha dry port.
There is no new, so this has always been.
Why do you have the concentration in this Lagos?
This has always been the busiest, the most patronized port in Nigeria. So it's not new, and remember, it has been like that for a very long time. So if you're a businessman, maybe your mind is configured like mine and every other person that, just meet me in Lagos.
Because they are putting pressure on living Lagos infrastructure. The road, they are going to, all these 33,000, 43,000.
You are just talking about the pressure. The people that die daily.
Yes.
Or almost daily.
Yes,
because these things, when you see the tanker, the whatever falling down on cars, on human beings, and at a point, the federal government, presidential task force, you saw what happened. It became an opportunity for people to eat.
Yes.
50,000, 150,000, 200,000.
For them to park and enter ports.
You saw it. If people don't park anyhow, then there's no reason for any congestion. That won't be any good.
Dr. Kayode, if I might disagree with you on that.
Where if people don't park anyhow, as you see this, and they are permitted, some people permit them. No, some people don't. No, there is. Nobody can argue against that. There is. Is there any system in Nigeria that when you say there's corruption there, people will get angry? Please, that's our country. There is corruption there, and we know it, and everybody knows it. See, when I think at the point the presidential task force, maybe I don't know whether they thought they can't do it anymore, or they thought they have solved all the problems. They handed over
everything
the Lagos
to Lagos
to the Lagos State government. when you hand over to the Lagos State government, you saw what the governor did, and all of a sudden, it relapsed. So, believe me, just as Asuko said, everybody is involved. So it's not that, oh, it's the state government, it's the federal government, it's the ports, authorities, those businessmen in the port. So everybody. And we want sanity. All of us, we have to say that you do your job, I do mine, then you commit to this, I commit to this, and everybody, carries their. If not, we will just continue. Look at what is happening. It breaks down. Do you know that many people who have no business in the port, just because you want to pass through Apapa,
just to pass through
the moment
Apapa,
that place is blocked, it knocks down every, and it spirals far
into Surulere,
and comes from Surulere down, and it brings down Lagos. When we talk about traffic,
it was as terrible as the trucks. We could spot
they are parking
Ikorodu
Road.
So you see all these truck drivers
down to National Stadium.
Yes. You see many of these truck drivers, they believe that they are above the law. So when we say don't involve military in everything, the only people they can fear are the military. And we pray that those you bring will not turn it to a money making
another monster.
That has always happened.
How come our depot? I understand that the number of times that they've attempted to pump refined petroleum products through pipelines, that is because of this fear of vandalization. That's why people can just always go there and pick manually. That ordinarily it should be something that you can dispense from that point and can take it to the east or north. We have the pipelines.
It's not only the pipelines, it's not even only the depot. Even the people who are getting their goods from those terminals, from the, they are also part of the problem. And I know that recently the federal government under Rotimi Amechi, they are trying to get the rail done from the ports, to the different, to maybe Ibadan or wherever, where. So, but the thing is, if that can be done and is being put in use, perhaps it can reduce the pressure on the infrastructure in Lagos.
Okay, I have Callistus from Imo State. Thank you for joining us, Kali.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us, Callistus.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you, Mr. and the panelists.
Go ahead, please.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm Callistus, calling from Owerri.
Okay.
I have your question about why the other posts are not. Hello?
Yes. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I have your question, about why the other posts are not functioning. I believe you already know the answer. Before 1999, if you remember, there are times containers will turn up from main market up to Bridgehead, up to Rocky West, or up to Onitsha Road. Then the other time too, the minister said that up to 80% of the containers arriving in Lagos find their way to Onitsha. So I believe it's a lack of political will on the part of successive governments to develop the ports in the east for their own political reasons, for whatever reason it is, maybe to bring down those people or to deny them of revenue. But the reason is going to all of us in the eyes. Unless the other ports are made to be functional, Lagos will continue to experience all these problems. Whether you like it or not. So solve this problem in Lagos.
And it's true because we have other ports. We have One, is there too. In Onitsha, they can bet in Onitsha. They can bet in One.
Kalisos spoke about the political.
Kaduna, there was a time Governor El-Rufai was saying something about dry port and all that. We can do so. By the time we spread it around and not just feel that everybody will have to come to Lagos to come and because the thing is the infrastructure in Lagos is already getting weak.
But if you listen to the tone of this caller,
yes,
he emphasized
the political will. The political will.
To say, from if I get him right, that is to say, authorities are not ready to empower some section of the country.
Exactly.
I wouldn't want us to.
No,
promote that line of thought.
from the way he said it, but maybe that is true, maybe that is not true. But we have ports outside Lagos, and there is no federal government or state government that will say if you are bringing stuff from China, you must land in Lagos.
In Lagos,
you can route your rubber
to Enugu to
Onitsha. Because people are there working and are collecting pay from the federal government or state government. So I don't know. Maybe there are things he didn't say that he should tell us, but that's the way I saw what I interpreted what he said, which to me may not be entirely true.
Because if you want to fly international flight now, you can go to Abuja, you can fly out.
Yes, exactly.
So
we can do the same. We can do the same thing.
If you take it further, as you said, yes, is the federal government stopping anybody from having airports or whatever? Today now you can fly from abroad. Instead of landing in Lagos or Abuja, you can land in
Kano.
Makia, Malam,
yes, Kano. In Kano.
You can land in
Port Harcourt.
Port Harcourt. You can land in is it Enugu?
Enugu.
Yeah.
You understand
So
then there's another one.
Possible.
There's another one in the way. You understand me? So if the federal government didn't stop that or do things, whatever to undermine that, why will anybody undermine? I don't see merit. Maybe you may need to convince me, but I didn't see any merit in political, thing that he's talking about. We, ordinary folks, businessmen and all that, we are the ones that use the ports.
But do you think it's a project that the Lagos State can handle? Because for a long time, it was under a presidential task force, and they tried to deploy everything they can deploy. Now the responsibility has been given to Lagos State, and I think it's the SAE for transport that is in charge of that project. But still, we're still having serious problems.
No, I think they started on a good note. And
initial graga.
No, not even initial graga. They started on a good note because the people who are in the port said, this is a wonderful initiative. The governor will have to, but if he has to set up another tax team, whereby every month or every two weeks they have to go there and see that road is free, it will be better. And then to check if the platform is actually working, because people have been complaining about the platform. So MPA, they brought a wonderful initiative, but we want them to do more. Enforce the laws where necessary. If they need help, they can always call on either the state government, because right now, Governor Soludo wants to take it upon himself to make sure that gridlock is done with. So if the governor wants to do that, so MPA has the backing of the governor to do that. And if they know that they have people who want to sabotage their effort, they shouldn't just sit back and say, okay, fine, it's not going to be possible. If not, we will continue to have this problem. Because as it looks now, everybody seems to be looking at, okay, fine, the trucks will have to move on the road. What of doing the rail? What of also diverting to other ports? We can also think out all those ideas to lessen the burden on Lagos infrastructure. So the governor I know the governor can do it. All he needs is for him to face it. Because the thing is, if the governor says, okay, every two weeks I'll be going to Apapa, and he stays in Apapa all that day, and make sure that the road is cleared. Tomorrow, he does the same thing. Next tomorrow, I bet you, Ayo, that Apapa gridlock will be a thing of the past.
Thank you, Asuko James. Thank you for your contribution today. Adekunle Yusuf, aka Kuleshi, thank you for your contribution today. And that's where we wrap up for today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. Don't forget to join us on Sunday from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. our Sunday special journalist hangout on Sunday. We're on youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Uzubakun. Bye for now and God